Imagine a world where electric cars can travel 1,000 miles on a single charge, without fear of fires, without long waits at charging stations, and with batteries that last almost forever. Sounds like science fiction? Because that's exactly what solid-state batteries promise. And if there's one thing Elon Musk has made clear, it's that battery evolution never stops. He himself has admitted that Tesla's 4680 batteries are incredible, but they are not the pinnacle of technology. In fact, there's something even more powerful looming on the horizon, and it's not just hot air. It is a silent revolution that is already transforming the automotive industry. What makes these batteries so special? For starters, they don't use flammable liquids like traditional lithium-ion batteries. Instead, they have a solid electrolyte, which is not only safer, but also allows them to store much more energy. Think of it like a water bottle that, instead of being filled with liquid, is filled with compact ice. More energy in less space, with much less risk. And if that wasn't impressive enough, these batteries also have an incredible ability to maintain performance even in extreme temperatures. You know those winter days when electric cars lose range? With solid-state batteries, that becomes a thing of the past. But perhaps the most intriguing part is that despite all this innovation, Elon Musk is not leading this race. In fact, he himself has acknowledged that Tesla is exploring other solutions and that the 4680 is just an intermediate step. This does not mean that Tesla is falling behind, but that they're looking at all possibilities, while giants like Toyota are betting all their chips on solid-state batteries. And for good reason. With the promise of a range of up to 1,000 miles on a single charge and the possibility of recharging in less than 10 minutes, it is hard not to get excited. Now, you might be wondering, if these batteries are so amazing, why aren't they in every car yet? Well, the truth is that this revolution didn't happen overnight. Solid-state batteries have been the industry's golden dream for years, but turning this technology into something viable for mass production is a monumental challenge. It's like trying to turn a brilliant idea into a practical masterpiece. And while many manufacturers have already taken the first steps, others are still trying to figure out the best way forward. Still, the potential is impossible to ignore. Imagine being able to travel from one end of the country to the other without having to worry about stopping to recharge. Or even having an electric car that you can charge in minutes, as if you were filling up with gasoline. And best of all, no risk of fire, no rapid battery degradation, and a lifespan that could exceed 1,000,000 miles. It's the kind of promise that makes anyone dream about the future of mobility. And it's no exaggeration to say that these batteries can change everything, not just for electric cars, but for any device that relies on portable power. From smartphones to drones, from electric bicycles to large-scale storage systems. We are talking about a technology that has the power to redefine the way we use energy, how we store it, and how we transform it into movement. And if there is one company that is taking this revolution seriously, it is Toyota. While many manufacturers are still in the testing and promising phase, Toyota is already years ahead in developing solid-state batteries. And it's not an exaggeration. With more than 8,200 patents related to this technology, the Japanese giant has made it clear that it is not just gambling, it is dominating the game. And it's not today. Since 2010, Toyota has been investing heavily in this concept, refining materials, testing prototypes, and accumulating knowledge. Did you know that Toyota was one of the first to present a working solid-state battery prototype? At the time, it seemed crazy, but they already had a battery that could power a car for over 1,000 miles on a single charge. Yes, 1,000 kilometers. That was more than a decade ago. And while other automakers were just dreaming about this technology, Toyota was turning ideas into reality. And what was impressive years ago remains a landmark today. But they didn't stop there. Not satisfied with what they had already achieved, Toyota engineers continued to improve the technology. New materials, new compositions, new manufacturing processes. Each step brought them closer to achieving the perfect battery. And a result? A range that can reach 1,200 kilometers, something that makes any current electric car seem outdated. And this isn't just marketing talk. It's science. It is applied innovation. And why is Toyota so obsessed with solid-state batteries? The answer is simple. They know this is the key to mastering the future of electric mobility. In a world where autonomy and security are fundamental, having the most advanced technology is not just an advantage. It is a matter of survival. And they're not just competing with other automakers. They're trying to stand out in a market where even technology companies are entering the fray. You might even be thinking, but what about Tesla? What about Elon Musk? Well, while Tesla has been focusing on its 4,680 batteries and other innovations, Toyota is going all in on solid-state batteries. It's almost as if they were two different paths towards the same goal, transforming the future of electric mobility. And while Tesla prefers to explore several technologies at the same time, Toyota decided to focus on just one, improve it, and dominate the market. And these aren't just words. Toyota has already announced that it is about to begin mass production of these batteries. They're building factories, training staff, and fine-tuning processes to ensure that this technology is not just a promise, but an affordable reality for millions of drivers around the world. And if you think that's an exaggeration, remember, we're talking about the world's largest automaker. A company that has already proven itself capable of revolutionizing the market with the Prius and is now ready to do it again. But what makes these solid-state batteries so special? Simple. They are a true revolution in terms of performance and safety. While traditional lithium-ion batteries have gotten us this far, with electric cars that are faster, more efficient, and less polluting, they still have their limitations. One of them is energy density, and that's exactly where solid-state batteries shine. Imagine you have a backpack and need to carry as much energy as possible. With current batteries, you're limited to what fits inside, but with solid-state batteries, it's like you found a way to double or even triple the space. They have an energy density of up to 600 Wh/kg, more than double that of Tesla's 4680 batteries, which offer about 272 Wh/kg. That means more range for less weight and less space. And if you've ever driven an electric car, you know that range is one of the biggest considerations drivers take into account. But that's not all. They're also much safer. You know the concern about the risk of fire in lithium-ion batteries? This simply disappears with solid-state ones. Without flammable liquids, the risk of explosion in the event of an accident is practically zero. It's like exchanging a barrel of gasoline for an inert stone. And this safety remains even in extreme temperatures. Whether you're driving in scorching heat or harsh winter, these batteries continue to deliver the same performance. And if that wasn't enough to impress you, how about the loading speed? While most current electric cars need around 30 to 40 minutes to charge from 10% to 80% at fast stations, solid-state batteries promise to do the same in just 10 minutes. Yes, you didn't read it wrong. 10 minutes. It's practically the same time it would take you to drink a coffee or check messages on your cell phone. And all this without sacrificing battery life. Speaking of lifespan, these batteries not only last longer, but they also maintain their performance for much longer. We're talking about a lifespan that can reach 1,000,000 miles without significant degradation. This means that your car can run for years and years without needing to replace the battery. For many drivers, this is the equivalent of having an engine that never loses power. And this is where things get really interesting. Because while Toyota seems to be leading the pack, other giants aren't exactly standing still. QuantumScape, a company you may not have heard of, is making waves with its own take on solid-state batteries. They don't have the heft of Toyota, but they're showing the world that innovation isn't just about size. With advances in materials and manufacturing techniques, they claim to have a version that can charge up to 80% in just 15 minutes. And the most impressive thing? They've demonstrated it in real-world conditions, not just in a lab. And it's not just QuantumScape. Solid Power, another company attracting attention, has its own approach. Instead of betting on a single material, they are experimenting with various compositions, including sulfide and oxide-based solid electrolytes. The idea is to find the perfect balance between security, performance, and cost. And they have an ace up their sleeve, a partnership with Ford and BMW, two automakers that aren't exactly new to this game. But while these new companies are gaining prominence, Tesla and Elon Musk are watching closely. And don't think they are simply ignoring this technology. Far from it. What Elon Musk is doing is something that many would call a calculated strategy. Instead of diving in head first, he's waiting for others to solve the toughest challenges. Because for him, it is not enough to have the most advanced technology. It needs to be viable, reliable, and accessible. And so far, solid-state batteries haven't reached that point yet. Is it a risky bet? Perhaps. But Musk has a history of making risky bets and winning. While other companies are burning billions on research and development, Tesla is refining its 4,680 batteries, which are cheaper and easier to produce. They may not be as impressive as solid-state in terms of performance, but they are much more affordable. And at the end of the day, that's what matters to the average consumer. But there is another important aspect here, the patent war. Toyota has more than 8,200 patents related to solid-state batteries. This means that even if other companies develop similar technologies, they could end up paying royalties to Toyota. It's a strategy that the company has used in the past with its hybrid engines, and which can guarantee a significant advantage in the long term. But as the competition for solid-state battery dominance heats up, a crucial question arises. How do these new batteries actually compare to traditional lithium-ion batteries? After all, it's easy to get caught up in the hype, but the numbers don't lie. And when we put the two technologies side by side, the differences become clear. To begin with, energy density is the big differentiator. As mentioned, solid-state batteries can reach up to 600 Wh/kg, more than double that of Tesla's 4680 batteries, which are around 272 Wh/kg. In practice, this means that a vehicle equipped with a solid-state battery can travel twice as far with the same weight. Or, if you prefer, have a much smaller and lighter battery for the same range. And this is not only an advantage in terms of performance, but also in terms of design. Lighter cars are more efficient and more agile. Another critical point is security. Lithium-ion batteries still rely on flammable liquid electrolytes, which can catch fire in the event of an accident or overheating. It's not a constant threat, but it's a possibility. Solid-state batteries eliminate this risk almost completely. With no flammable liquids, there is no chance of leakage or spontaneous combustion. And this extra security is not just a matter of peace of mind. It can be decisive when choosing between one electric car or another. What about performance in extreme temperatures? Well, solid-state batteries shine here too. While lithium-ion batteries lose efficiency in very cold climates, solid-state batteries maintain their performance practically intact. And in the heat, they do even better. This means that whether you're driving in a scorching desert or a freezing blizzard, your car will have the same range and performance. And then there's the charging. This is perhaps the most impressive part. While the best lithium-ion batteries currently take between 30 and 40 minutes to charge from 10% to 80%, solid-state batteries promise to do it in just 10 minutes. It's the kind of change that completely transforms the experience of owning an electric car. Instead of waiting for almost half an hour at a charging station, you could stop for a coffee, and when you get back, your car would be ready for hundreds of more miles. But it's not just the loading time. Durability is also unparalleled. While lithium-ion batteries begin to lose capacity after a few years of use, solid-state batteries can last up to 1,000,000 miles without significant degradation. This means that, in practice, they can last longer than the car itself. For anyone thinking about making a long-term investment, this is a huge advantage. And then there's the environmental impact. Solid-state batteries use fewer rare earth metals like cobalt and nickel, which means less mining and less environmental impact. And because they last much longer, they generate less electronic waste. It's a greener solution that aligns performance and sustainability. But if solid-state batteries are so promising, why haven't they taken over the market yet? The answer lies in the technical and manufacturing challenges that are much greater than most people realize. Because despite all the excitement and billions of dollars in investment, turning this technology into a practical and affordable solution is a monumental task. And it all starts with cost. Producing a solid-state battery is expensive, very expensive. And we're not just talking about the materials, which are already significantly more expensive than those used in lithium-ion batteries. The real challenge lies in the manufacturing processes. Unlike traditional batteries, which use liquid or gel electrolytes, solid-state batteries need a layer of solid electrolyte that is incredibly thin and uniform. And that is much easier said than done. Imagine trying to stretch a sheet of paper as thin as a strand of hair without it tearing or blistering. Now imagine doing this on an industrial scale, with thousands of batteries being produced every day. Small defects, such as cracks or impurities, can ruin the battery's performance or even make it dangerous. And that's not to mention that these solid electrolytes need to be compatible with the other materials in the battery, which adds another layer of complexity. And that's not all. The assembly process is also much more delicate. Conditions need to be absolutely controlled, with precise temperatures and humidity levels. And as if that weren't enough, many of these batteries use materials that are extremely sensitive to their environment, which means they need to be handled in dry, sealed chambers. It's like trying to build a Swiss watch in a chocolate factory. Every detail matters. Another big challenge is durability. Because while solid-state batteries promise impressive battery life, many still fail to achieve that potential in practice. The dendrite problem, for example, is a real nightmare for engineers. These tiny lithium crystals can grow inside the battery, piercing the solid electrolyte and causing short circuits. It's as if tiny roots are growing inside the battery, destroying it from the inside out. And then there's the issue of compatibility. Not all materials that work well in lithium-ion batteries are suitable for solid-state batteries, which means that in many cases, engineers have to completely rethink battery design. New materials have to be developed, tested, and fine-tuned. And that takes time, a lot of time. So, if these challenges are so great, why do companies continue to invest in this technology? Because the prize is gigantic. Whoever can solve these problems first will not just lead the electric vehicle market. They will redefine the concept of electric mobility. Imagine a world where cars can drive 1,000 miles on a single charge, where they charge in just a few minutes, and where there is no risk of fire or premature degradation. This is the future that solid-state batteries promise. And as in every technological race, there is no shortage of surprises and twists. Because as Toyota and other giants continue to perfect their solid-state batteries, new companies and startups are also entering the fray, bringing innovative ideas and unique approaches. It's like watching a marathon where suddenly runners nobody knew start to overtake the favorites. And that's great for the consumer. The more competition, the faster technology advances. One example of this is QuantumScape, an American company that caught the world's attention when it announced that it had overcome one of the biggest challenges of solid-state batteries, the problem of dendrites. These lithium crystals that grow inside the battery and can pierce the solid electrolyte are a major cause of failure. But QuantumScape claims to have developed a solution that not only prevents dendrite growth, but also extends the battery's lifespan. And they're not just talking, they've already demonstrated their technology in working prototypes. And more than that, they have signed partnerships with large automakers, such as Volkswagen, which is investing billions to bring these batteries to the market. It's further proof that no one wants to be left behind in this race, because everyone knows that whoever masters this technology will dictate the future of electric mobility. But it's not just QuantumScape that's making progress. Solid Power, which is backed by Ford and BMW, is also moving forward. They are taking a different approach, using solid sulfide-based electrolytes, which offer a unique combination of safety and performance. And unlike many other companies, Solid Power isn't just developing the technology. They're building factories to mass produce it. And then we have SES, a company that is combining the best of both worlds. Instead of choosing between lithium-ion or solid-state batteries, they're developing a hybrid technology that promises to offer the performance and safety of solid-state batteries, but with production costs closer to those of conventional batteries. It's a smart approach, which could end up being the middle path the industry so desperately needs. But there is another aspect of this race that we cannot ignore: the environmental impact. Because while solid-state batteries promise to be safer and more efficient, they also have the potential to be more sustainable. Because they do not rely on flammable liquid electrolytes, they generate less hazardous waste. And because they're more durable, they need to be replaced less frequently, which reduces waste. And more than that, many of these new batteries are being designed to use fewer rare metals, like cobalt and nickel, which are often associated with environmentally harmful mining practices. This means that, in addition to being better for consumers, they're also better for the planet. And in an era where sustainability is more important than ever, that's an advantage no automaker can afford to ignore.